desert's home to a place where the best come to race. They come down to a town called Avondale. In that town there's a track, and it keeps them coming back. Roaring engines drowning out the coyotes' wail. Let's head on out to Phoenix Raceway. Let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun, where the best around come to play. Let's watch the fast, the brave and bold, making left turns for the gold. Let's head out to Phoenix today. An oval so fine, with a dog leg at the line. It's a shape that you don't see every day. The drivers line up to come take the cup. It's such a pretty sight, I gotta say. Let's head on out to Phoenix Raceway. Let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun, where the best around come to play. Let's watch the fast, the brave and bold, making left turns for the gold. Let's head out to Phoenix today. Phoenix Raceway, let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun, where the best around come to play. Let's watch the fast, the brave and bold, making left turns for the gold. Let's head out to Phoenix today. Let's head on out to Phoenix Raceway. Let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun, where the best around come to play. Those cars got zipped, they're quick and plucky, zooming around, trying to get lucky. Let's head out to Phoenix. Hooray!
Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance. Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uestas.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
You think you've got what it takes?
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life that means forever. That's a mighty long time. And I'm here to tell you, it's something else.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Welcome everybody near and far to your Southern Thunder Truck Series season finale at Phoenix International Raceway. It's called something else now, but we're just going to call it Phoenix. I am your host, Sean Signore, in the booth. With me is James Watson. James, you looking forward to tonight?
Yes, sir. It's the season finale, the championship race. Obviously, it's not technically the championship race as we've come to know it, since we don't do a goofy playoff system, and Brad Newman has won this championship like 2 months ago. But there's still plenty to play for, and the most important thing is there's still one last checker flag yet to be grabbed.
Yeah, although it is the finale, there is still that very last checkered flag, as you alluded to. It doesn't really mean much towards the point standings, as we have those up on the board now. Brad Newman got that 10th win of the season last week at Martinsville. He is your champion for 2025. Behind him, Matty Ray in second. Matty Ray pretty solid in that second spot with 2 wins on the year. Brian Blundell in third. Ruben Phelps in fourth. Ryan Barber 5th, Lachlan Urquio 6th, Mark Grocott 7th, Andy Barber 8th, Jason Holdsworth 9th, and Brad Wright 10th. Pretty good spot there for Brian Blundell up in 3rd position, James. He's kind of worked his way up there. He wasn't that high up a couple weeks ago, and just his consistent runs and showing up every week, it's going to earn him a 3rd place spot. It'd be interesting to see if he could hold on to it. He only got a 30-point gap over Ruben behind him.
Yeah, it shows what just turning laps and being safe can earn you, and it doesn't look like Ruben is here, so I don't think he has anything to worry about.
Yeah, Phoenix is just one of those toughest tracks on the NASCAR schedule. Corner entry into discipline one's going to be corner entry into discipline into turn one is going to be our first key to the race tonight. James, as you know, that turn 1 going in there is the widest corner in all of short track racing. There are so many different lines, so many options you can take, but it also creates the possibility for an incident every time.
Absolutely. And key number 2, use the dog leg smartly. This new layout of Phoenix has that wonderful, amazing dog leg that I have never said anything bad about in my entire life. Nope, no siree. You gotta be careful on how you use it and how much you use it. It's really jarring for these trucks, so if you're not careful, you can easily hook it wrong and it can hook you into the wall. And as you're well aware, that's no good.
Yeah, our 3rd and final key tonight, tire and brake management. Kind of have to save those brakes throughout the whole race. Make sure you got still some pad left at the very end. But tires most definitely have been one big exclamation point all week so far on the service. I've never seen tires be such an important aspect of the races as they have been in these Cup B and C races all week long. So it'll be interesting to see if that carries over into tonight's race. And maybe somebody's able to save that extra set of tires for the very end. These drivers are going to be starting qualifying here. Check out the 10 truck there. That is Dave Douglas. A valiant return to the series. Out on track right there, Lachlan Urquio. Now Lachlan, he's one of the drivers in our V8 Supercars League, and actually coming up here just announced a 600-mile race at Talladega. Do I have that right? I don't know if I have that right. What do you think, James? Do you think 600 miles at Talladega? You think that that's going to be interesting or what?
Yeah, interesting is definitely the way to put it. It's definitely the most unique idea out there. It's gonna be really cool, honestly. I'm looking forward to see how this is gonna go.
Yeah, anybody watching that might be interested in that, check it out. It is the Bullring Motor Group 600 at Talladega. 226 laps. Got a prize pool paying out for the top 5. Free entry, live broadcast, live race control. It's going to be a real professional event. If you want to see yourself take part in that, make sure to get signed up and get involved.
Now, for us Yanks, to give us a better idea on when exactly it is, Is it going to be at the same time as Oz Ovals, or?
So, gentlemen, it'll be a week after the Oz Ovals off-season slam finishes, and it'll be a 6 p.m. start for the race. So that'll actually be an hour and 15 earlier than we're used to for the Oz Ovals.
10-4.
There you
We're
have
gonna
it.
need that extra hour and a half. It's gonna be that long of a race. We could also use some Americans in there for maybe somebody like James and I to work with. We don't want to be up me and him against the whole world. And by the whole world, I mean Australia.
Speak for yourself. I'm going to be flapping my gums up in the booth.
Well, maybe you can call a race with me down there causing some trouble.
Oh no, and Sean has just caused his 4th big one of the night. And we're only on lap 69.
What is Sean
Not
doing?
nice.
Out there stopped under yellow, wrecking people everywhere.
I hope he hit the pace car. He's hit everything else on this damn track.
Swinging back over to qualifying real quick as we watch Kutai Dahl and his 55 truck go around the track. Provisional pole at the moment is going to go to Dave Douglas in that 10 truck. Kutai Dahl in a 55 slots in second. Shane Bowen third. Brenton Henderson and Ryan Barber out there, top 5 right now in qualifying. Still waiting on a couple big hitters though. Jason Holdsworth, Brad Newman yet to make a qualifying run. Here's Jason just now coming off pit road, Lee's brother. He's also
I almost forgot that was a bit.
Yeah, he's very impressive. I'll never forget that's a bit. I'll be saying that as long as I know this guy. As long as this guy's on track, I'm saying that. But he's been very impressive throughout the year. I believe he has 3 wins. I think that's what he's got totaled up. You know, just maybe he would be up there with Brad Newman fighting for a championship if he took part in some of the earlier races, but he just wasn't around. You don't get no points if you're not around, and maybe next season he's somebody we can look forward to maybe challenging that super fast, super consistent 33 truck of Brad Newman.
Absolutely looking for the battle of the turquoise.
Yeah, we might have to pay one of these guys off, change that color. It almost looks like they're on the same team. Right now, at the moment, Brad Newman also out on track. I think I like Brad's a little better. I don't know. I like that more bluish turquoise than this is. This is almost more green.
Well, yeah, because it's
Brad
basically
makes it
the traditional Falcon tires scheme, essentially, just without the logo.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, as qualifying wraps up, Brad Newman's going to be your provisional pole sitter. We're going to step away for a quick ad break, and we'll be back for your starting grid and start of the race. Welcome back from a quick ag break here at Phoenix. Your starting grid getting set up now. Gridding up for 150 laps around this mile track. Dave Douglas says 00, but he's in the 10 truck tonight. Starting outside pole to Brad Newman on the inside, your pole sitter. Kutai Dahl in the 55 starting third, and Jason Holdsworth fourth. Shane Bowen in fifth, Brenton Henderson in sixth place. Ryan Barber in his 194 truck starting 7th, and Ben Henniker starting 8th. Tim Blundell in the 4 starting 9th, and Brian Blundell trying to hang on to that 3rd place in the points starting 10th. Lachlan Urquio in the 42 starting 11th. James Watson not in the race tonight, but making his presence ever felt. Matty Ray starting 13th, and Andy Barber in the 5 starting 14th. Brad Wright in his 19 truck starting 15th, and Mark Grocott rounding out the field in 16th position. got some guys starting pretty far back there, James. With Matty Ray and Barber. Going to be moving up through the pack as we're going to go and pivot over to our race picks tonight. James, who do you think you got for the finale tonight, trying to take home that last checkered flag we're going to see for a little while?
I think Jason Holdsworth has a great opportunity to try to add to his win total. He's been really consistent and really good on a lot of the mile and a halves, and you know, this place has always kind of reminded me of one, how you have to drive it sometimes, which is probably why I don't like it.
Man, that's a pretty good pick there, James. You kind of took the easy road. I'm going to go with that 194 who always takes the hard road. That is Ryan Barber. And his 3-digit truck for his grandfather, I think that truck still got a little bit more magic left in it. He's going to cash in on that tonight. Kobe, our man behind the booth pushing the buttons, who do you got?
This week I've gone with someone who doesn't race with us often, but is here tonight. He's old school, so he knows Phoenix well. Phoenix isn't for the faint of heart, so he's got what it takes to win the race in my eyes. Gone with Dave Douglas, as you can see on the screen, but I'll shut up now as the boys are about to go green. Back to you, lads. And viewers, if you're watching, please put in your picks.
Yes, everybody at home in the chat box, put in your picks. You might have gotten one better than us. And I say it's a good pick out of Kobe. That man starting on the outside pole as Brad Newman leads him down into the start zone here to kick off 150 laps. Your season finale. Green flag is out. Brad Newman is away. Getting a little bit of a good jump as they spread out going down into turn 1. You see trucks all over this track, all the way from the bottom to the top. That's going to be a constant with these restarts and starts as Dave Douglas in the 10. Big move around the outside. He's going to get to the outside quarter panel of Brad Newman. But Brad gets in the gas just a little bit better and is able to clear him off the corner. That is crucial to get out and get some track position, but does this 10 truck keep swinging?
Yeah, you saw Brad go all the way down to the inside wall on that initial start.
Yeah, a lot of leaders have done that this week. Don't know if it really works out too well for them. But Brad not able to really get away at that start, and he's still got a mirror full of Dave Douglas going down into turn 3. Douglas is going to pop out to the inside. Brad going to give him the space as the 10 truck gets back into the gas to clear Brad Newman off of turn 4. That's not something we say often. Brad Newman out here getting past, but Dave Douglas is going to do it. Jason Holdsworth going to follow him through. Sorry, Kobe, I didn't hear you.
Meanwhile, it looks like Brenton Henderson has dropped his packets.
Unfortunate for the 81 truck. Brenton's one of those guys that's here week in, week out. Still looking for the first win on the year. But very consistent, very smooth, very fast driver. Kind of sucks if ever have his season end on that note. You see Matty Ray here getting around the 19 of Brad Wright. So we go back up to the front. Brad Newman with a mirror full of Shane Bowen. Shane was pretty fast last week at Martinsville. Looking forward to him possibly having a good run tonight. Looked pretty impressive last week on the short track, and sometimes that translates over to here.
Yeah, obviously it's in theory it's somewhat similar to Martinsville in the sense that it's flat and there's a lot of braking. Outside of that though, not really. But showing that he's able to build off of that good run last week. So he's looking to the outside of Newman.
Yeah, luckily Urquio just made the pass on Tim Blundell for 7th, as you called it. Shane Bowen getting to the outside of Brad Newman. Brad struggling a little bit early on here at Phoenix. Don't usually see him fall back this far. But is he going to give that 3rd position up to the 38? I think the 38's in the position of strength, being here on the outside in turn 1. And Kutai Dahl in his 55 truck, he might try to take advantage of it, get through on Brad as well.
Yeah, I couldn't
see
quite do
Bowen.
it as you saw Brad shut the door.
Bowen able to get the job done for the moment. Now Brad's got a mirror full of Kutai Doll. It kind of seems like that's how it is here at Phoenix, James. You get passed by one car, and next thing you know, you just got another one on your bumper. Instantly, you have to fight off, and sometimes it's hard to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, unfortunately, especially here, it's so easy to get freight trained. Get one car on your outside, then all of a sudden you see 3 or 4 follow them through.
One of the hardest tracks to pass on the NASCAR circuit, but if you are in the position where you are losing spots, sometimes it seems like everybody's passing you easily.
Yeah. It's hard to pass until it isn't.
And Brad able to hold on to that position in 4th, your champion-elect on the year. But Dave Douglas still out front. Jason Holdsworth closing in just that little bit. And so is Shane Bowen. These guys starting to accordioning up back together. 10 laps into this. Pretty impressive start here by that 10 truck. First time I've ever called a race with him in it. But, pretty impressive start. Starts second, gets around Brad Nim and drives away. I'd say that's pretty damn good.
It sure
Hope he
is.
might have himself a good pick tonight. Now Holdsworth under a little bit of pressure from behind Shane Bowen. See Lachlan Urquio going back out there to make a pass on Ryan Barber going into turn 3. He's going to get the job done for the moment. At least on the timing sheet he was. They are still side by side going down to turn 1 now. Ryan
Big
Barber.
extend, and he's gonna pull the slider.
Oh yeah, you can always use that apron here. I love it. I use that apron quite a bit here myself, and one of the few. I'm glad to see another cultured man like Lachlan Urquio taking advantage of all that space down there. And he gets the job done on Ryan Barber. He's one of the harder trucks to pass in this series. That's why I chose him tonight. If he can get out front, he might have something to say. But Lachlan, he's going to fall in line here and take that position away. Lachlan up 5 spots here early. Up 6 is Andy J. Barber in that 8 position. Another one moving up is Matty Ray, up to 11th from his starting position. But not moving up all too quickly. I think that's in typical Matty Ray style, nice and slow and steady, getting up through the pack. He'll be there at the end.
Yeah, he loves to take his time with it. You don't really see him for a good chunk of the early bit. You're like, hang on, where'd he come from?
Yeah, well, you could also be saving a little bit of that rubber. We're 15 laps into this race. These guys are already a second slower than what they ran hot laps in practice. So that tire wear is making itself known here early. It almost seems like these guys are visually slower than what they were literally 4 or 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and you have to wonder that maybe why Newman is running in 4th right now. Just focus on stretching the rubber as far as he can get it.
He's a very smart racer, cerebral racer. If there's a tire wear problem, he is the one to watch. I'd be copying everything he is doing. And as you say that, James, he is starting to close right back in the back bumper of that 38 truck. As we got a truck in the inside wall, it's Brad Wright. See some smoke coming out underneath the hood of that. That thing looks like it is toast. Let's see, he's going to elect to take the tow here. Get the pit road before we have a caution come out. Really don't see what happened to him there on the replay. Oh, just getting back in the gas a little too much. Easy to do coming off of turn 2. Spun the rears, and next thing you know, he's into that inside wall. Meatball flag for the 19 truck. That's pretty sad to see, man. Brad's been running great over these last 4 to 5 weeks of the season. He had some tough luck at Talladega, but other than that, he has really been putting in some good races. Got his first podium at Atlanta a couple weeks ago. So tough way to end the season for the 19 truck, but I'm sure he'll be back next time around, ready to get at him.
Absolutely unfortunate way to end the season with all that positive momentum.
Yeah, most
Ends up
definitely.
becoming like a turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, kinda. Especially the end of the finale that way. No one likes wrecking out of the last race of the year. Kind of sets the tone for the whole offseason as we see the 33, Brad Newman, getting to the inside of Shane Bowen, making maybe those fresher tires known. But a good way to use them up, get to the inside, start racing the guy in front of you. So it's a little bit of a risk versus reward right now for Brad Newman, trying possibly not to burn his stuff up too early, trying to get around these guys. As you can see, he probably does have a little bit of a tire advantage right now.
Yeah, he's on the prowl, but still just taking his time.
And as we mentioned earlier, that 83 gets around the 4 truck. He's up 2 spots from when we last saw him, around the Flying Blundell Burrito brothers. He's going to get in front of them.
Bueno.
Liv Moss.
Tacos El Carbone. Wait, crap, wrong Mexican entree.
Well, you know the band, the Flying Burrito Brothers, right? Yeah,
I don't.
You don't, you ought to check them out, yeah. Graham Parsons band. Great little dig from the 70s. They did a lot of covers. You might want to check them out. So I figured I ought to bestow that name upon them. Brad Newman able to get that job done for third, though. As you see a new leader out front. This is the pass for the lead. Jason Holdsworth getting around Dave Douglas. Seems like he just had a little bit better traction right there coming off of turn 2. Got to the inside, and if you have that inside position into turn 3, that 10 truck yielded and gave way. Double D gonna fall back to the second position, as right behind them, Brad's able to make the move for third underneath Shane Bowen. And it's kind of funny that both the 8 truck and 33 made the moves on the same lap. You can tell they're kind of mirroring each other, doing the same thing, saving that stuff. Now we'll have to see if Brad can get up and around that 10 truck, or if the 10 truck is able to maintain that second spot and hopefully stick with Jason Holdsworth.
Yeah, you see Double D fall out of the lead, but I'm sure he'll bounce right back up.
I'm gonna start giving everybody nicknames. You know, we got Lee's brother leading, Double D in second. I can't think of something. Matty Ray's what? Mr. Sheen. Like Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen.
So for the Americans who don't know, Matty Ray has got a very clean record, as we've seen year in and year out as he's been racing on the inside lane races. And because of that, he's got the moniker of Mr. Sheen. Now, again, for the Americans who don't know, Mr. Sheen is a cleaning product in Australia.
Okay. So it's like Mr. Clean.
Yeah, well, he's that clean
Gotcha.
that he's Mr. Sheen.
Yeah, we need to dirty him up a little bit. We need to get him fired up. I want to see him mad one day. I think that would be funny.
I don't know if I want to see that. Be quite
The world might end. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. It'd be interesting to see him pissed off as the 33 gets around the 10, as we alluded to. That 10 truck might have burnt a little bit too much rubber up early. As you see, he is struggling at the moment.
Yeah, Shane Bowen looking to get by and get back on the podium.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that 55 truck's going to be one to follow as well. Kutai been nice and smooth so far to start this race. And you see him in the background making the move to the inside of Shane Bowen. Shane got a little... It seems like he just got a little out of place there coming off of turn 2. Lost some momentum. Trying to get around that 10 truck. Maybe put his nose where it couldn't go. He's going to be seeing that 8 and 33 driving away in front of him. And that's just going to put the pressure on him.
Oh,
It's
big
loose out of the
sideways for
bend.
Douglas.
Yeah, Double D going to get loose, getting back in the gas. That does not help those rear tires at all. It kind of makes the pass easy for Shane Bowen. And how easy is it going to be for Kutai Dahl in that 55 is the question now. I don't think this 10 truck's going to go down swinging. I don't see Double D doing it. Closing in behind these guys, one of the faster trucks on the track, Lachlan Urquio in the 42. Up 5 spots already. Trying to close in on this battle in front of him for the top 5 positions.
Yeah, you just wondering what's going through the mind of that 55 truck. You know, seeing that big save from the 10.
You know
Double
that
D
he's struggling.
shakes is usually quite distracting.
Most definitely. Take your eyes, take your ears, take every bit of your attention away, especially out that windshield. He's going to be looking to the inside now into turn 1. Tough pass to make here, but Double D is going to give way. A little bit of a business decision, I'd say, in yielding to the faster truck of Kutai Dahl. Smart move there out of Dave. It's pretty impressive to have that awareness at that time. A lot of guys would fight that spot tooth and nail. Kutai Dahl is going to be able to saddle up and get on after that 38 up ahead of him. Oh, big sideways again out of Dave. Man, he got maybe just hit that apron wrong, that transition a little bit, and he really didn't lose much ground, kind of stuck in the throttle. But man, that was a hairy moment out of Double D there coming across the start-finish line. Easy to do here, James, as you alluded to in one of our keys to a race, was managing going onto that apron and being careful down there. Every car reacts differently to that transition, and it takes time to learn how yours is throughout the race.
Yeah, it was a really antsy moment for him. Great job to hold on to it.
This is always a battle to watch, no matter what track we are at. It's Matty Ray versus that 194 truck. As Matty Ray has closed in on Ryan Barber. That 83 is kind of redeeming the fruits of his labor earlier, caking it easy there for those first couple laps. And right now, Matty Ray, one of the fastest trucks on the track still. Some of these guys in front of him, they're starting to struggle and get slower and slower. We're now down to about 1.5 seconds slower off the pace than what we were running hot laps in practice. So these guys are slipping and sliding around. Right now, we're looking pretty likely for a yellow. I think somebody's about to boof it sometime soon.
Yeah.
We saw it out of that 10 truck, Dave Double D, getting loose a couple times lap after lap. He's one of those trucks, probably one of the ones that are struggling the most right now. And you'll see guys that far back, like the 83 and possibly even the 194, catch up to somebody struggling that fast. Once you start to struggle here at Phoenix, the time is just keeps bleeding and bleeding away. You'll just really fall off compared to other racetracks, compared to some of these guys with fresher rubber.
Yeah, it's just the snowball effect. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Especially when you're not really expecting it, because Phoenix isn't necessarily the most... It's not the track that you think of when you think of tire-intensive tracks, but as we've seen right now, it's definitely messing them up.
And this bodes well for the races this weekend, too, I'd say. The tire wear is anything like we've seen so far this week on iRacing. If it's anything like that this actual week here in Phoenix, it's going to put on one hell of a show. Right now, these guys are slipping and sliding. The best battle on a track is the 1-4 third place Kutai Dahl, all over the back of Shane Bowen. Kind of setting Shane up, trying to maybe entice him into a mistake, just putting that pressure on. I've seen the back of that 38 truck moving around a lot. we are going to step away, get a quick ad break in before these pit stops start kicking off, and we'll be back from your action here at Phoenix.
You think you've got what it takes?
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life will be forever. That's my long time. I'm in it's something else.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway here, 46 laps into our 150 lap race tonight. This battle for third, hot and heavy between Kutai Dahl and Shane Bowen. These guys have not gotten away from each other at all during that ad break. That's what we were kind of hoping when we stepped away. It's like, maybe these guys will chill out, but they did not, and they are stepping it up still. Kutai still stalking that 38, hoping for a mistake out of that man in front of him. In the booth, we got ourselves a special little treat. It's going to be Maddie Ray in that 83 up into the 9th position now. Maddie, you out there just saving your tires earlier. We were talking about that, how you were kind of the slower mover of the guys starting in the back. But we also predicted that you were kind of saving that stuff, and you're kind of proving us right here at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit. It's sort of plateaued pretty hard now. I'm struggling a little bit, to be honest. But yeah, I'm about evenly matched here with Junior, so I'll keep working him, see if I can got something for him, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that 194 truck, he seems to be moving around quite a bit. Have you seen a couple almost spins out of him? Just, you can kind of see that mistake happening before it happens.
Yeah, not spins as such, because he can handle a truck, obviously. But yeah, I can tell he's definitely free in the rear, which I am too a little bit coming off, but
you saw it right there out of him, yeah.
Yeah, he's starting to step out a bit, so I reckon I might have something for him here.
Oh, Lucky hard into the wall. Oh, right in front of Andy, too.
Is out. 42 truck Lachlan Urquio, hard crash coming off of turn 2. That is going to interrupt our chat with Maddie Ray there. as that thing is torn up.
Is that bad? Yeah.
Oh, it is bad.
He's done.
Watching the replay now, just a slide and then an overcorrect up the track, takes out the 5 truck as well. Andy J. Barber, nowhere to go.
No.
He just ended up with that 42 in his lap. And we were talking about it, James, as before we went to a break, how, you know, the possibility of a caution looked somewhat high with everybody getting loose, it seemed, with that tire wear. And the first one to fall victim to that tonight is going to be that 42, Lachlan Urquio. Just too much into that gas, asking too much of it, and then that deadly incorrect, overcorrect coming off the corner. That will bode bad time and time again here at Phoenix. Maddie, man, we're gonna let you be and try to focus on your restart here and get after it out front. Good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully we'll see you up here in the booth afterwards in the top 3.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. We'll try our hardest here. I'll crank a bit of wedge in, or take a bit of wedge out of it, sorry, and see how we go. Thanks, boys.
Go get him, Freeman. As we see the pit stops now, it's gonna make it interesting here, James, with this pit stop. I don't think these guys might be able to make it all the way up from here. 50 laps into this race, still 100 laps to go. Kind of have to really open up some possibilities here for some pit strategy.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is gonna make this race really interesting. Waiting to see who does what now.
Yeah, with the tire fall off being so bad, I expect most people to maybe want to go halfway and take a full fresh set of tires. But with these guys, and the amount of times that we have been wrong on pit strategy, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody made it the whole way, just for us being that far off sometimes, because they do some of the craziest things and make it work.
No kidding.
I feel like we've been wrong more than we've been right. So we come back around and get 1 to go on the flag stand. Your leader after the pit stop cycle on pit road, it's going to be Jason Holdsworth. Brad Newman restarting second. Shane Bowen, Kutai Dahl in 3rd and 4th. And Dave Douglas able to hold on to that 5th place. Pretty good job there out of that 10 truck to stop the bleeding and hang on to that top 5 spot. He might be one to watch here at the beginning of this run. And a rare caution for this field as well. These guys are very skilled, very respectful, very clean drivers. We don't see too many yellows on a week-to-week basis here in this series. So almost a rare treat for us to maybe get a little bit of variation in the pit strategy. Everybody but the 42 and 5 trucks apparently. It's coming down into the restart zone. Jason Holdsworth, your leader, going to take off like his brother Lee and get away from Brad Newman. Big jump out of that 8 truck. Really going to give himself an advantage here on Brad Newman. Kutai Dahl to the outside of Shane Boeing in that 38. Going to try to get that job done. He's been trying to work over that 38 truck for 25 laps, and now is his opportunity. A little bit into the wall, though. It's going to kill his momentum and possibly give Shane the edge going into turn 3. That battle for 3rd is going to go the way of the 38. 3 wide behind him. That's Matty Ray, Ryan Barber. Barber slides in behind the 83 truck. Not much room to spare there. As you can see it, James, these guys, they are getting racy.
Yeah.
To the inside, that's Ryan Barber to the inside of Matty Ray. Matty Ray gives him the space. They're going to come off of turn 4 side by side across the line. You see those trucks down there utilizing that apron, but not that 83. He's going to hold steady on the top. He's in the position of power here. You kind of want to be on the outside in turns 1 and 2. Ryan Barber, though, really pushing it on the inside. Gets the job done. Impressive pass out of the 194. And behind him is Pops in the 5 truck, going to try to get the same job done. I feel like Matty's going to want to get back around him with all that damage. Not mess around with Andy for too long.
Yeah, you can see that nose is still punched in pretty good.
Giving it a good drive, though. Was able to keep up here on this restart. But over the run, I expect him to really fall off carrying all that damage. But like we said, we've been wrong before. It's up front. Your battle for the lead. Starting to heat up just a little bit. Brad Newman been closing back in slowly but surely. Lap after lap. Not letting Jason Holdsworth get away this time. And you can see the pace these guys have now. They are really pushing much harder than they did at the start of this race. Maybe they're planning on only going that 25 laps. Or 50 laps, I should say. See the big dive by the 33 going down into turn 1. He closed in 2-3 car lengths in there alone. Single file throughout the field now. Brad Newman, 10 wins on the season. Jason Holdsworth with 3. Definitely been one of the trucks that can keep up with this 33 and give him a good run for his money, and tonight he is doing it. Brad was your pole sitter, but has yet to lead a lap tonight. Got passed on that first lap by Double D.
Yeah, when does that happen?
Not very often. So he said 10 wins on the season. Your season champion as well. Must feel good to ride into here into Phoenix, having already clinched that up. And getting all the dignitaries that comes with it. So you see him applying the pressure to the back of Jason Holdsworth. Gonna try to poke that nose to the inside. Jason shuts the door. Hard to make the pass there on the inside like we had said, James.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that Brad might not be pushing that hard right now. Like, he'll try to look for an opportunity and take it if it comes, but not really trying to force the issue and really burn up his stuff.
Looks like they're all burning their stuff up right about now, just the way they're driving. As Brad dacked it onto the inside. Kind of threw a little bit of a dummy there on Jason Holdsworth. Not going to work on him this time around. But a valiant effort nonetheless. You see it, James. Brad is just looking for a mistake, any shred of opportunity to take full advantage of.
Yeah, just a little bobble from the 8 is all he needs.
And the longer we go and the closer he gets, the more likely that is to happen. But Jason Holdsworth, a smooth and steady driver in his own right. He is one tough customer, and he's going to be somebody that's going to be hard to shake. You see a couple trucks tapping that wall there. That's a Phoenix specialty, is grabbing that wall off of turn 2. You're going to see people hit that all night. Really doesn't do much damage to the truck at all, though. But if you hit it hard enough, it could end your race.
You also see a lot off of 4, too, and they're not hard hits. In fact, I'm not even sure if most of those are hits at all. Probably netcode contact, but it shows you how much track they're using up.
Every inch that you can get.
Yeah, it's not just using every inch of the dog leg. Like, you see them getting all they can get around the corners as well.
Yeah, that's another thing about this run. Since the restart, these guys have been using much more of that dog leg than before. Getting more and more aggressive with that as the race will go on. But towards the end, that might just bite somebody, asking too much out of that transition. See a battle here. This is going to be for the 5th place. That 10 truck, Double D, not off to the best start. Gets a little bit of that wall we were just talking about off of turn 4. He's got a bumper full of both barbers. Andy Barber doing a great job with that damage so far. He still has Matty Ray behind him, and he's still right on the back bumper of his son in that 194.
Yeah, you think he'd be in a lot worse state, but nope, there's still a lot of speed in that truck, even still.
Well, that just shows the underlying skill of some of these drivers. They're able to drive through some of those misfortunes and some of that baggage that he is carrying. He is really putting in an effort to not make it matter here tonight. And it is, I'd say that is very impressive out of that 5 truck. You know, he's 2/10 off of his son, but probably the same setup with a squeaky clean truck. And that's usually the other way around. Usually he has the clean truck and Barber and Ryan's carrying a little bit of damage, but tonight it is the other way. It's a little bit of a Freaky Friday situation for them. You see that 83 of Matty Ray closing in on him, though, as we were talking about him. This might be the point in that run, James, though, where the damage starts to show up. You can probably drive through it with those newer tires and with some of that draft you might be getting off the pack in front of you. But as we spread out, the tires get hot and the wear starts to matter. That's when that damage is going to show up.
Yeah, looking at the Matty Ray crossover point.
It's starting to come right about now. It's that 83 closing in on the back of him. And when we had Matty up here, and he said something that we don't hear out of him often, and is, you know, he said he was struggling a little bit. Some of the speed and some of the handling characteristics of that truck. Just with the tire wear being so high, and maybe a little bit of a mismanagement, as he alluded to, trying to do better for the last 2 stints of this race as he finally gets to the inside of Andy J. Andy J's just going to make a little bit of, as you like to call it, James, a business decision and get in line behind that clean truck of Matty Ray.
Yes, sir. Now he'll set sail with the battling duo. Dave Douglas going way down low.
Something's up with that 10 truck.
No, I think
he is
that was
really struggling this run. Yeah, he's really been on the back foot since the start of this restart. That is Dave Douglas, and now he is all under fire from Ryan Barber in that 194. And behind him is that other duo of Matty Ray and Andy J. Ryan's always one to watch. His passes sometimes can be quite spectacular. Big race out of him last week as well. Went a couple laps down early, got him back. Drove back up into the top 5, got a top 5 finish out of that deal. Oh, on the inside and loose is that 10 truck. He's going to be hitting pit road. 25 laps into the run. Still 75 laps to go halfway into this race. He's going to be our first one to make the green flag pit stop. And a black flag to go with it.
And he almost wiped out the barrels at the middle wall.
Yeah, something's up with this 10 truck. I'm not sure. He might have some sort of issue. Seems like he is driving a little bit erratically here at the moment. Don't know if I expect him to come back out. Might be having some sort of a problem at home. That was quite the entry. It didn't seem like that was planned at all. And like we alluded to, you got the black flag for it, and that either way is going to be a race killer for Double D in his return to the series. This battle right here for third, though, James, it will not end. The 38 and the 55, Kutai Dahl still stuck behind this 38. He's been looking at that Cobalt Racing bumper for about 40, 50 laps now.
Yeah, Kutai has to be just sick of that at this point.
And so does Shane. Shane's got to be sick of it, too. He just wants to run some laps and not mirror drive his Kutai to the inside. Trying to get the spot from Shane Bowen, but that 38's going to power off the outside line and not give up that easy. They are going to be mano-a-mano into turn 1. 38 still holding tough on the outside. Still a dead heat coming down the backstretch here. Bowen with a little bit of an advantage on entry, but he runs really high up there in the center. That's going to cost him some space to Kutai Dahl. He almost had him clear and just ran a little too wide there. But this battle, still side by side. Don't think it's going to end anytime soon.
Oh, Shane got the wall.
Some wall contact there out of that 38. Stuns his momentum. And Kutai's going to dive deep into turn 1, trying to make the pass clear.
Kutai
Loose
got
out of the
loose.
back of that 55. Fighting that truck. Best battle of the night so far. This one will not go down. Kutai doing everything he can to get by that 38. Just didn't make the pass. Just couldn't get cleared that time. How much damage do you think, James, he might have done to his tires there over those last couple attempts as he closes back in down the front stretch?
To shreds, you say?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Kutai, he's a tricky little race car driver. I've noticed some surprising things out of him so far. Wouldn't surprise me if he was just playing with his food right about now. Big loose coming off of turn 4 that time. That's going to be, you got it, Kobe. Ryan Barber. Matty Ray takes advantage, gets the run to the outside. He's going to get the job done, and look at that. Matty Ray up into the top 5. Not bad for a guy who was struggling. He's going to try to close in on that big battle up ahead of him, though. Long way to go. 3.8 seconds behind Kutai Dahl. But anything can happen with those guys up front now.
Yeah, can he get them while they're focused on playing grab ass with each other?
They might be able to. He might have been saving a little more than these guys were. As we saw earlier in this run, these guys were really driving the wheels off their stuff. It's Kutai Dahl back to the back bumper of the 38. The never-ending battle continues. 65 laps to go. Next time by. Kutai peeking to the outside now instead of the inside. Trying all kinds of stuff to get around this 38. You can see it, James. He's just faster than him, but just can't get that track position on him. He tried after the restart. Tried about 20 laps before the caution. And just really improves a point on how hard it is to pass here at Phoenix.
Yeah, just impeccable defensive driving from Shane.
But at one point, does the frustration boil over for Kutai? As you see him get closer and closer to that back bumper of the 38. At one point, does he just say, I've had enough of this? And that was a great attempt there by Kutai to get to the outside there. But here comes that speed off the corner. He might be there.
Got him!
Side by side, Kutai Dahl to the outside of Shane. In the position of power into turn 3. Man, these guys are really running high there. Turns 3 and 4, but looks like that 55 truck might have him cleared. He does. Kutai Dahl finally makes the pass after what seems to be about 70 laps of side-by-side hard-nosed racing with the 38 of Shane Bowen. Applause to both these men. Really put on a good show tonight.
Yeah, I just don't understand why Shane gave him the top right there.
And just hard racing. Sometimes you get lost where you are. And the guy behind you just too determined to make that move, and he made it work. I don't think Shane meant to do it, because trust me, if he meant to let him by, he would have done it about a half hour ago.
Yeah.
Either way, that 55 truck, Kutai Dahl, finally makes the pass, and now he can possibly start working on those two in front of him. And last time around, fastest truck on the track. Guess what? It is the 55 of Kutai Dahl. This battle right here is starting to heat up. This is going to be for 6th spot between father and son, Andy J and Ryan. Andy J still putting in some impressive lap times in the performance with that damaged truck. If he gets by Ryan here, it's going to be a little bit of an ego bruise for Ryan if he can get passed by the damaged truck.
And Pops will never let him hear the end of it.
Yeah, who knows how much damage he's got too. It'd be funny if he had like 10 minutes. But that 194 truck really been struggling. He's been fighting the rear end of that thing for about 10 laps now. Lost the position to Matty Ray. And then some more time just fighting this thing off the corner. You see it every single time as he gets back in the gas. I was wondering where Andy J went, and I guess he went down towards that inside wall. I thought he about wrecked. Came in there flying out of left field.
Yeah, I thought he was toast again too.
He is still applying the pressure to that 194. That's another thing I've noticed out of these two. No matter if they're kin or not, they are gonna fight tooth and nail with each other. I think that's the position that Andy J wants to get the most, is beating Ryan in that 194. I'm sure they won't admit to that though. But you know that rivalry is strong between the two.
Yeah.
This right now is the best battle on the track. Now that crusade for 3rd place is over and done with. Not going away is that 5 truck. And I'm sure Ryan's like, well, how is he able to do this with all that damage? And Pops just has that wisdom, and he's putting it into good use now. Might as well. It's the last race of the season. Maybe this is the time to show something, put him to school.
Old age and treachery.
Exactly. Your leader still the 8 truck of Jason Holsworth, 2.5 now over Brad Newman. Kind of has maintained that gap since the start of the restart of this race. Seems like that dirty air just got to Brad at one point. He just lost a little bit of track position to him. The 55 truck though, Kutai Dahl, slowly been closing in. When he made the pass on Shane Bowen, he was about 4 seconds behind, and now he's about 3. So making some inroads is that 55 truck. Trying to put some pressure on the 2 in front of him. We check out that 73 of Mark Grocott running in the 11th spot. First time we've seen him tonight on the screen. That's always a good thing out of him, showing some good speed here this weekend. Shane Bowen gets around him. Fastest truck on the track last time around, Matty Ray in the 83. We said it when he made the pass on Ryan Barber, if he can close in on those 2 in front of him, and he is starting to close in on that 38 truck. Last time around he was 4/10 quicker. Maybe he can keep up that pace advantage here for the moment. But we still have a pit stop looming here, and he's 2nd now. As we are about halfway through this run, 50 laps to go next time around for Jason Holdsworth. What do you think, James? What do you think these guys might do as the best time to come in and make that pit stop?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the $1 million question, because they're probably not that far off, only like maybe 10 laps or so. So, I don't know, maybe cut... I feel like we might get quite a few guys maybe pit within the next 5 or 10 laps. You know, have about less than 50 laps on their tires, and then have only 40 laps to go on the final set.
Now, do you expect any of these guys maybe to stretch it and try to stay out and hope for a yellow? Especially with the tires being as bad as they were, as you said it, James.
Well, that's one that's not going to.
Yeah, one
that's
that is
two that's not going to.
Yeah, you saw the advantage there for the 5. It'd be interesting to see if he got a speeding penalty, though, because he really cooked it on in there in that pit entry. Andy Barber getting ahead. Getting ahead of Ryan Barber there.
Wow, he did that and didn't get a penalty.
That's pretty impressive right there.
Flexing on your kid. That just took his lunch money with that pit entry. It looked like he was fast forward.
And as we expected halfway through this race, I mean through this last run here, Jason Holdsworth coming down onto pit road, your leader. How much longer does Brad stay out? Does he try to do something different? Maybe go 10, 15, another 10 laps or so, try to get out there on some fresh tires towards the end?
Yeah, I'd say try to give yourself a overcut. Maybe wait to lap 110.
And here come all the animals down to the feeding station. Mark Grocott, Tim Blundell, Brian Blundell, all making their pit stops.
Oh no, he's going around!
Caution is not out yet.
He kind of saved it. He had the
Andy Barber and the 5 truck beat his son off of pit road. And lost that track position there on that get up and go lap. You see the replay of it here. Still carrying that damage to the front. Going down to turns 3 and 4 now. Just getting loose on the back end. Taps that wall like a drifter. Hits it again though for good measure. It's going to add to that damage total of the 5 truck. Not a good race so far for Andy J, although he was awfully impressive carrying that damage. That just might be a little too much right there.
Yeah, he took Junior's lunch money and then fell and dropped it on the ground Sonic style.
Matty Ray coming down, hitting pit road from the 3rd position. That was a great analogy there, James.
Yeah.
Two trucks still out there to yet to make a pit stop. That is Kutai Dahl and Brad Newman. Matty Ray on pit road from coming down from what was the 5th position. As you see that burnt up 42 truck sitting there all sad. He needs to get out of there. Put that thing in the garage. Let these guys go home. Been a long season.
Yeah, it's gonna be expensive.
Nice and smooth pit stop there out of the 83. No one expect any less out of him. But Brad Newman, as we predicted, trying to do something different than Jason Holdsworth out front. Staying out there, trying to get a little bit of a tire delta over his nemesis in the 8 truck. Here comes your 2nd place runner, Kutai Dahl, onto pit road. Be interesting to see. Now we're going to have that battle flare back up again, though, because Shane Bowen pitted a couple laps earlier. And he's going to come out in front of this 55 truck once he completes his pit stop here. And so that battle for 3rd is going to flare back up again. We're going to get another go at it here to watch and enjoy.
Yeah, it's such a mind trip watching their pit entries because the pit speed cones are actually fairly far past the pit road entry wall. So because of that, it's tripping you up because you're seeing them still carry so much speed past the pit road wall. You're like, oh my god, they just airmailed the pit road entry by oblivion, when it's absolutely not the case, as obviously we saw with Andy. And you reckon that Ryan must have been thinking the same thing I did, thinking that they were a lot closer to pit entry, which is why Andy was able to fire the rocket and just zoom past him while making speed.
Yeah, just one of those situations where Andy just knew the track that little bit better than Ryan did at that moment and took advantage of it. You know, sometimes knowing where those cones are can really pay off, and on a green flag pit stop where there is a lot of time to gain, that's when you want to put it to good use. It just, you know, you saw Andy make that big move on the pit entry, but then lose it on the exit lap, the out lap, getting loose. So it was all for naught, which has got to be frustrating for the 5 truck. As we see Matty Ray with a little bit fresher rubber closing in on the back of Ryan Barber. Ought to make the pass a little easier. And these guys, they have a 5-lap tire delta, and just look at the speed that Matty Ray has to get back in the gas and get to the inside. This pass is going to be for that 5th position. It's going to be nice and easily done by the 83. And on pit road, your leader, Brad Newman. So we're going to have it set up just like I said before the start of this pit cycle. 10-lap tire delta between the two. As you see the difference in 5 right now. You see how far back and how much time Brad lost on those old tires there for 10 laps. But throughout the last 35 of this race, he is going to be hot on the heels of Jason Holdsworth, closing in lap after lap. Just like time and time before, we've seen this story, I don't know, 3-4 times. James, Brad going out there making a little bit of a Hail Mary decision on the pit strategy, trying to close in and possibly win this race.
Yeah, tale as old as time, that one.
Brian Blundell back on pit road. It's a little bit of a unplanned pit stop. He had already pitted about 10 laps ago. Something must be up with that 86, as he is in that quest to hold on to that 3rd place position in the points. I think he's going to get it, though, as Ruben is not out here racing tonight. Right now, as your pit cycle completes, Jason Holdsworth is the leader. Shane Bowen, 1 lap fresher tires. He's about 4.5 seconds behind. A little bit of a gap there for him to close in. Kutai Dahl currently in 3rd, about 7 seconds behind. And then Brad Newman just came down and made that pit stop. With that 10-lap tire delta, he is 10 seconds behind your leader. And rounding out the top 5, Matty Ray in that 83, as we just saw him make the pass on Ryan Barber. Another truck on pit road, that's going to be the 5 of Andy J. I believe he's going to be parking it up for the night. Had enough of that struggle bus. Been a tough night there for Andy J. Also got the 73 truck of Mark Grocott on pit road with a meatball flag. It's actually the 86
Blundell,
of Brian
actually.
Blundell. Yeah. Tough break for him. And blew his engine right there coming off the pit lane. Maybe a money shift. Yeah, money shift right there out of the 86. It's going to end his night early. With a blown engine, that's definitely got to stink. Don't see that all too often.
Yeah.
And we're going to pull him up here and ask him about that. Give him some secondhand embarrassment. Brian Blundell, you're up here in the booth with Sean and James. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got a copy with you boys.
So, what happened there?
Missed gear shift.
Oh man, a little bit of a money shift going to end your race.
That's it, mate.
That is it out of you. Well, 3rd place in the points. I'd say that's pretty impressive. That 86 truck, as we see you out here racing week in and week out, to come home 3rd place in the points on the full season. How do you feel about all that?
It's a good result for the team. Myself, Timo, Brad and Mark, we put in a big effort behind the scenes. So, and yeah, consistency pays off.
Now, we don't get to ask you all too many questions up here in the booth, so speak your mind if you'd like. But looking back on this past season, and like you just alluded to, coming home with the third place and all the effort you guys put in week and week out, what are some of your highlights as we bring this season to a close here at the last 30 laps?
The highlights are racing a good bunch of blokes that are all like-minded, and we race as good as we get. So we give and we take it on both ends, and it's nice to be able to front up and have consistent runs and not as many cautions as we experience in some of the other leagues that we play with and the officials.
Well, I think that about wraps up this season pretty well for you guys. Third place in the point standings. Congratulations, Brian. Sorry that your season ended 30 laps early with that money shift, but sometimes the best accidents are happy accidents.
Yeah, we'll take that, build on it, and come back bigger and better.
We look forward to seeing all of you guys out here next season. Congratulations on your third place run tonight. I mean, on a third place run in the points, man. It's very impressive.
Yep. Thanks, Marty.
That was Brian Blundell in at 86. What do you got, James?
I was a happy accident.
I think we were all happy accidents, all our mid-90s babies like you and me. Yeah, Kobe says he was built in a science lab. He tried to get away with that one.
I don't know what sick experiments they were doing to make you.
Yeah. Walter White science lab, maybe.
Yep, okay, I am now getting word that I have been fired. All right, I'm going to go to bed, everyone. Good night.
As you see the battle for third, Brad Newman gets around Shane Bowen with those 10-lap fresher tires. Brad Newman came out of the pits 10 seconds behind Jason Holdsworth. That is now down to 5 seconds in just that interview, James. I think we might have a battle going on here towards the end.
Donut.
Yeah, last time around, Brad Newman 4/10 quicker than Jason Holdsworth. But as we see, as the run goes on, those tires will start to even out. So he's got to try to make in as much time as he can here at the moment while he has that advantage. And Brad's not new to this position either, James, as we've seen it before. He's always one to go a little long on the fuel stop, give himself a position and a chance to catch the leader in front of him that maybe he just wasn't getting done on equal tires.
Yeah, and now he's making some mad hay with these fresh ones.
Very impressive so far out of the 33s. He's going to be closing in on Kutai Dahl any lap now. Do you see the lap times there on the board? About 3.5 tenths between the two, 4 tenths, half a second that time around. That lead is now down to 4 seconds. And believe me when I say this, Jason Holdsworth, he sees that number and he is watching that relative lap after lap. Next time around, he's going to have 22 laps to go. So it might be a little bit of a tall order with a 33 truck coming this fast here at the moment, but how fast is he going to be coming at him in 5 laps and 10 laps? That is going to be the big question. Is he able to maintain this amount of separation in the lap times, or does it really close up towards the end of the run as his tires start to even out and wear in?
Yeah, already down to almost under 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be worrying for Jason Holdsworth in that 8 truck. I wonder if he's going to give Lee a call, maybe get some pointers out of him here at the moment, because that's what I'd be doing. I'd be phoning a friend trying to figure out, hey brother, how do I stop this 33? Because he is coming as you see him applying the pressure to Kutai Dahl. This is going to be for the second position. Another great race out of the Kutais. We saw him battle that 38. The crusade of the night between the two. Just the never-ending battle, the never-ending war ended up with the 55 out in front here for the moment. But Kutai, a late addition to this series, has worked himself into the top 10 in points. He's gotten a couple wins under his belt, including a very impressive one over Brad Newman at the Roval. He is one to watch coming into next season to really give this 33 truck a run for his money along with Jason Holdsworth. I think we're going to have a 2-3 truck battle for the championship.
Absolutely. The Newman complete the pass and continue on down the road.
Big pass for Brad Newman. That lead now down to about 2.5 seconds. And we said before, he came out of the pits, 10 seconds behind Jason Holdsworth in that 8 truck. Now down to 2.5. That is 7.5 seconds in about 12 laps, about 20 laps actually, since his pit stop. That is quite the inroads, and it just shows how important these tires are here at Phoenix this weekend. This is unlike anything I've ever seen here on the service at this racetrack.
Yeah, it's kind of been that way all week. It's strange, isn't it? Kind of jarring.
And it's like that in the Cup car. It's like that NIS. It was like that in my league race last night, although I didn't get very far into it. But I was able to tell how much those tires were meaning, and just trying to save a set for myself. Just trying to hold on towards the end of the race. It's really easy to burn those right fronts up. And tonight it seems to be more of the right rear with these trucks losing it off the corner. We've seen it time and time again. So right now that lead under 2 seconds now, about 1.5 seconds going down into turn 3. Brad Newman really closing in on Jason Holdsworth now. Coming back around, it's going to be 15 laps to go next time by on the Super Truck Series, the Southern Thunder Super Trucks. 15 laps in the season. We got ourselves a hell of a battle lining up here between the two heavyweights. Yep, just in front of the 8 truck there. I think that's going to be the 213 of Ben Henniker. And we saw it last week, James. This Ben Henniker fella, he does not like moving over in front of the leaders.
Yeah, and the only truck in front of Brad Newman right now is Jason Holdsworth. Just the last thing he wants to see in his mirror.
Yep, and Jason just cannot get the position around the 213, and you can tell it is affecting him. That dirty air, and plus the 213 is on just that little bit fresher tire to where he might not be able to close in like he needs to and get around this slap truck. It is really affecting the 8 out in front right now as Brad Newman starting to close in even faster. As you alluded to it, James, he is starting to reel him in under a second now between the two leaders. And, that 8 truck he just cannot get the run off the corner. A big wiggle out of him right there, trying to get a little bit of momentum on that lap machine of Ben Henniker, and just cannot get the job done. And don't look now, but also behind them is Kutai Dahl. That lead is down to under 2 seconds between Jason and Kutai. So if these two run into each other, here comes that 55 ready to take in and take advantage of all that.
Yeah, he hasn't left. He's still right there.
And I feel like the 213's playing a pretty big role in this, as the 8 trucks in dirty air and just can't get around him. But he also might put up the same fight to Brad Newman as well, and give Jason Holdsworth a little bit more of a shot to get back around Brad Newman if Brad's getting held up by this 213 as well.
He was looking.
But on the bumper down to turn 1. Side by side for the lead. Brad Newman to the inside of Jason Holdsworth. He's going to be there off the corner. Those newer tires giving him that traction to get underneath him down into turn 3. It's going to be a dead heat, but real tight between the two. You saw the slide out of the 33 as he got back into the gas. That is what Jason needs to do, is fight him like that, nice and tight on the outside.
We're under 10 to go now. Under 10.
He is going to hang out there on the outside, not giving up without a fight. 9 laps to go, this time by at the line. These two side by side for the lead. And right behind them, and that 55 truck of Kutai Dahl is closing in quickly. So these two need to sort it out, or it's going to fall right in the lap of that 55 down the turn one more time. Is Jason Holdsworth able to hold it on the outside? I think so. He gets to the rear quarter panel of 33 of Brad Newman. Brad comes up, gets the job done, coming off of turn two. New leader, Brad Newman. He was your pole sitter earlier, got beat by that 10 truck, has been on the back foot all night. And James, the strategy worked.
Yeah, to absolute perfection.
But how big of a fight does Ben Henniker put up? Ben Henniker running in seventh position.
Can he put up at this point?
And running in that 7th spot. You know, he really doesn't have much to gain or lose by putting up this big of a fight, and I feel like the 8 truck might not be too happy with him sticking in front of him like he did, but that is the 213's prerogative, is to put up the fight like he did, and he's gonna let Brad Newman go. Brad Newman's gonna be able to get around him quite easily. That's just gonna be another poke in the eye for the 8 truck. Here comes Kutai Dahl. Well, now he's fighting for the lucky dog. He's a lap down. Well, if the caution comes out, the 213 will get his lap back. But I don't think we're going to see that yellow. Of course, that 33 truck doesn't want to see that yellow. So he's working around the 73 now into turn 1. The battle for second, Kutai Dahl. Now, Kutai, when he made that pass on Shane Bowen about 40 laps ago, you know, he was about 4 seconds behind these fellas. And here he is late in the race, right on the back bumper of that 8 truck. Really shows the speed of the 55, and maybe what could have been if he had gotten around that 33 truck, the 38 truck earlier. So here comes Mark Grocott on the scene. Might make this interesting here for the battle for second as they close in on the 213 of Ben Henniker. To the back bumper, Kutai Dahl. You see them both trying to get back in the gas. Next time around, it's going to be 3 laps to go here in the season. Jason Holdsworth trying to hold on to this second place. Really had the dominant truck tonight over Brad Newman, but the strategy just was on the wrong side of that coin here in this final 100-lap run. Brad was able to go out 10 laps longer on his initial stint, come out with 10 laps fresher tires, and really put in the stint of the year, I'd have to say, James, closing in from 10 seconds back in under 35 laps to get the job done with time to spare as he is driving away. That is quite an impressive feat out of the 33.
Yeah, it's rare to see someone out strategy Holdsworth, but man, what a hand and what a play by Brad Newman.
A little bit of a run here for the 55 as we come across the line. 2 laps to go. Only a couple more opportunities here for Kutai Dahl to get the pass done. How aggressive does he get? How desperate does he get to get around on this 8 truck? Do you see that 213 still sticking in front of that 8? Really been a hamper in his progression so far here towards the end of this race. As Kutai, as they come across the line, white flag, trying to make the move to the inside. Brad Newman with a huge lead over these two. Going to come home with his 11th win of the season as the series champion. Just one way to end the season that he wouldn't have imagined. Brad Newman coming down into the turn 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to do it. Win number 11 on the season. Your series champion. He sweeps it, gets it done. The battle for second going to fall and go down to Jason Holdsworth. Kutai Dahl slots into third. And that's going to do it. That is the season over for the Southern Thunder Truck Series. As you see the slide, the SVG style slide there out of Brad Newman. Does it all the time after these wins. And we finally get a good view of it. The Drifter got it done, dominating fashion all season. Comes home with his 11th win as the champion. Can't write it better than that, huh, James?
Nope.
We're gonna run down our. We're gonna step away for a quick ad break, and we'll be back with our finishing order and interviews.
Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance? Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uestas.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Welcome back to Phoenix International Raceway here. We got a lot of guys up here in the booth with us tonight. We're going to be running through all our race winners and some of this highlights of the series over this past season. We got Kutai Dahl in the 55 truck up here tonight. Kutai came home third place spot tonight. How heavy was that battle for the run for second there towards the end? Looked like you were really putting on a good show there with Jason Holdsworth.
Yeah, Jason pitted a bit early, so I decided to pit a bit later to maybe get the overcut, but it was working. But you just need a clean air. I think it's hard to overtake, or I need to work on my overtaking skills a bit. But yeah, it was good fun at the end.
You really had a spirited battle there with that 38 of Shane Bowen throughout most of this race tonight. Can you show us any sort of insight onto that? Because that was probably the battle of the season so far.
Yeah, it was a good battle with Shane. He was just having better exits, and yeah, it's something I need to work on. I think overtaking, but I think I'll have nightmares about that rear bumper. If I could have overtaken earlier, maybe would have given me a better shot at P2 or P1. But yeah, it was good fun with Shane as well.
So you're ending the season this year with a big win. Looking forward into next season, what are your expectations going into of maybe a full points championship and maybe a run at the title?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it my best shot. I mean, I'm just trying to improve, really. Every week, trying to improve and learn from everyone that's faster than me. So there's always something I can get better on. So hopefully, I'll be able to develop the skills and maybe get a few more podiums, a few more wins, and yeah, even fight for the championship will be nice.
We look forward to it. Any shout outs you want to give for your third place run tonight?
Yeah, just you guys in the booth as always. Kobe for organizing the league. P1 Racing guys, and Mum and Dad for watching them. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, congratulations. That was Kutai Dahl and his 55 truck. I'm gonna send it over to James.
Yes, sir.
Who we got lined up for James? It's gonna be Jason Holdsworth in the 8.
Jason, James in the booth. You gotta okay, you sure do. Well, awesome run for you tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like Brad made a strategy call that just worked out a little bit better there towards the end.
Yeah, I just got stuck behind Ben in the dirty air and I couldn't get past him. He was on like 3-lap newer tires and I was just stuck. I couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't get close to him. Like, so it is what it is. Not much you could really do. Yeah, but that was a fun race.
Yeah, it seemed like the dirty air was just absolutely killer, as it always seems to be around this place.
Yeah, it is tough. I think that's why at the start we pushed to get to the lead. Used a little bit of tires before that caution, because yeah, I know dirty air is horrible here. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah. All I gotta ask now is, it was a fantastic season for you. You won quite a few races and held with Brad pretty well, a lot better than most. Do you think you're gonna be able to look at that and maybe think about making a championship run for next season?
Oh, it's tough Friday nights. I like to try and have a life every now and then. Brad's tough over a whole year. I'll be very, very honest. He's very consistent. He likes leading laps. I'm hot and cold at the best of times, so maybe one day, but yeah, Brad's a very tough competitor and obviously deserves a championship.
Alrighty, well, it was still a fantastic season for you, even with one of these so-called lives that I don't understand what you're talking about on that front, but yeah, any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, just JT and the Nitro team building the setup for this week. It's a very good setup, obviously, as it is every week. And just you guys for putting on the league and the broadcast.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Jason, and hopefully we're talking to you again here next season.
I should be back.
Brian Blundell, this is Boys Up in the Booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, got a copy, boys.
We alluded to it earlier. You had a tough run tonight. Ended up with on the hook after a money shift there. But looking back on the season, third place in the points, came home with a win at one point during the season. What is your plan and what are your goals going into next time around?
Yeah, just status quo with what we're doing as a group, and getting our practices in, working on our setups, and rolling the dice, see where we land.
Now, pretty productive season all in all, though. What do you have a favorite race looking back on the last 12 weeks at all?
Yeah, it's as strange as it's going to sound. Lime Rock. a difficult discipline to do, and in a vehicle that moves around under you a lot. So yeah, to come home as strong as I did in that race, yeah, that was a highlight for myself.
Are there any plugs or sponsors or shout outs you want to give out here to wrap the season up here on the broadcast?
Yeah, we'll go with the normal, and the boys with PSS. A great bunch of boys, and Pete Jones and others that keep us influenced and moving forward. So, and friends and family that put up with hours of me being on a sim.
Congratulations, third place in the points with the win. We'll look forward to seeing you and your team out here next season.
Yep, and thanks to everyone for putting this on. It's a good way to spend a Friday night.
Well, congratulations. That is going to be the 86 of Brian Blundell. I'm going to send it back over to James.
Alrighty. Talking with our runner-up on the season, Matty Raymond.
Hey, how you going, boys?
Doing good. Well, talked to you quite a bit both tonight and throughout the season. Just take us through the tale of season 1 in Southern Thunder for you.
The tale. Yeah, no, it was quite the adventure. I had fun, of course. That's the main thing. That's what we come out here for. So, but yeah, I think I had a really good season. I haven't really checked results-wise and whatnot, but I don't think it was many times outside of the top 10 or anything like that, or top 5, and had lots of podiums and lots of like really good racing with a couple of really good dudes. So that's the main thing, you know. And having Brad out here is always good because it's something to aim for, you know. So just being able to share a podium with a fella like that's just an honour on its own. So to come away second after it all.
But sorry to interrupt there, but Matty, you actually finished with 16 top 5s and 22 top 10s this season.
Seem better? Nah. That's really good, eh? I'm pretty proud of that. How many starts was it, sorry? What do we have? 24 rounds.
Look. Where is this on the data? Yeah, 24. 25, and you attended 23, Matty?
Jeez, can't sneeze at that.
23.
Oh, there 25. You go. So I missed a couple.
You missed 2.
Yep. Nah, yeah, I can't be any more rat with that, eh?
Back to you, James.
Good, so. And yeah, like I said, finishing second at Brad. Yeah, that's a big win for me. So I'm certainly not the fastest guy out here. So yeah, that makes me smile, makes me proud. So yeah, thanks, boys.
Alrighty, well, any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs to like to give before we let you go into the off-season?
Yeah, of course, the usual. TWRS have been helping out the team for, well, all this season, all this year, almost now, just about. So a big, massive thank you to those guys. They give us a lot of help and setups, and yeah, a lot of well appreciated and well needed help with SRM. So can't thank them enough, and I've got to thank Scotch Race Fuels in particular, not for just supporting us at SRM, but chipping in a little bit for the league and putting up a little bit of a prize for the drivers. So that's really good of them. Brenton down there is a really nice fella. And yeah, if you ever need any race fuel, oils, anything like that, he's definitely the man to see around Adelaide. So we've also got Alex, Cut Stick Sicko, Ray down at Moondog, and a couple of charities that we'd like to shout out with the Alopecia Foundation and Tourette Syndrome Australia. And of course, you guys, like putting all this on, organising the whole season, and putting up all the servers. Kobe, mate, you do an amazing amount of work. So I can't thank you enough, and you guys, Sean, Jimmy Dubs, all the work you guys put in commentating every week. Found out firsthand how bloody hard that is the other week, so I've got a whole new appreciation for you fellas as well. So yeah, thanks everyone, and all the other drivers. Brad, kudos to him once again. Like, he's just class of the field wherever he goes. So yeah, big congrats to him. And would I be right in guessing Blundell probably picked up third, Brian? You know?
Yes, he did. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's another good thing. See him up. He's one of the really good eggs. He always puts in the yards. He's always at every race, and he's one of the most fairest guys out here. But he rarely gets raced fairly back in some situations. So yeah, big cheerio to him for picking up podium in the championship. I think that might be his first. So yeah, well done to Brian. And yeah, once again, thanks guys. It's been a really good season.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Maddie, and hopefully we're talking to you again next season.
Yeah, no worries, boys. Thank you.
Brad Newman, your champion and race winner tonight in the booth with us. Brad, how are you doing after that?
Hey mate, yeah, good to get another win. It was a fun race with a few of the guys out there, especially Jason. So yeah, it was a good one.
So how was your approach to the race tonight, having already wrapped up the championship? Was it just like a win at all cost, or were you maybe ready to kind of take a victory lap of it all, just kind of enjoy it, soak it in?
Always racing to win. I wouldn't turn up if I wasn't. It's always the aim. Wasn't sure how it was going to go during the race. Jason seemed pretty fast, but just sort of played out in my favour towards the end of it.
Coming home the series champion after the end of it all with 11 wins on the season, do you have any favorite moments or memories throughout the last 24 weeks that would kind of highlight your season as a whole?
Not in particular. It's been a fun year, really. It's a good league. It's been good to be a part of. I've enjoyed the racing and everyone that's been in it.
Now, going into next season, what are your expectations? You seem to have maybe some extra competition with that 8 truck and the 55, and we kind of tip them to maybe give you a run for your money for it all next season. Do you have that same feeling as we do up here in the booth?
Yeah, any of those guys can win races. They're quick, which is good. It's always good having the competition there, and not just them. There's some other quick guys out there, and I think that's what makes it good.
Well, it was a very impressive season out of you all in all. 11 wins, series champion, an extra one tonight just to put the exclamation point on it all. Do you have any sponsors, plugs, or shout outs you want to give to wrap it all up?
Just you guys as always for putting these events on, especially over the whole year. It's been really fun. All the guys that raced against and the guys at Lobs Esports. Thank you.
10-4, that was Brad Newman, your race winner and series champion, up into the booth. Now, Kobe, it's been a long season, man. 24 races gave me my opportunity to come in here and watch it all. It's been a whole lot of fun. Do you have any words to wrap up what the last 24 weeks have meant to you?
It's been a great maiden series. We've had some great drivers here. We haven't always had high numbers, but I've said when I started this league, I'd rather have 15 guys who respect each other than a 40-car nightmare every week, and I think we've produced that. Thank you, Sean, for coming on board. Thank you, James, for being here. Not like you're allowed to go anywhere else. You're chained to the desk. It's been a great series. Next season, we will be merging with the Aussie Outlaws. It won't be the trucks. After a few discussions, we've decided that Australia is too overpopulated with truck leagues, so we're going to be going another direction. It'll either be Xfinity or Cups, or if I've got anything to say about it, Gen 4. Other than that, if you're still looking for some racing through the Inside Lane Productions network, we have the Oz Ovals Off-Season Slam, which is a short track series we're doing at the moment. We'll also mention again the BMG 600 at Talladega we're doing. Nick Burling has sold 600 cars through his car dealership, and he wants to celebrate that through a 600-mile race, which is why he's put in $1,000 out of his own money to make this a really great deal. We're looking at mid-December, as you can see on the graphics on the screen right now. Big prize purse, all the bells and whistles that you'd expect from a AAA race. It's going to be something great. Can't wait to do it. I'm running out of words to say, so I'm going to throw it back to you, gentlemen. Let's wrap it up.
James, man, been one hell of a season. Saw some great races, saw some tight races, saw some unknown winners, saw Brad Newman dominate. We even saw you and I go out there and lead a couple laps, no matter how hard that is to believe. What are your favorite memories, and what can you say to wrap this up as a whole, as somebody who was here week in, week out?
Yeah, the Daytona race was definitely interesting. A lot of great races. It's kind of hard to narrow it down just to one cool thing, cool moment. You know, Ryan getting a win for his grandfather. You know, it's just a great first season here, and it's a bummer that it's over, but we'll be back soon.
Well put. Yeah, a lot of great memories out there, you know, running with these guys at Talladega, seeing Barber win that night. I'd say that's probably my favorite race of the year as well. It meant a lot for everybody there to see him get that done. I want to thank everybody for tuning in throughout the whole season. It's been a lot of fun to do this with everybody, and all the drivers showing up week in, week out, putting on great races, great shows for us to take part and tune into. We look forward to seeing everybody here next time around. Look forward to that 600-mile race at Talladega. We got to thank all our sponsors, Everything Simulator, Scotcher Race Fuels, Doogie Mobile, Inside Lane Productions, TWRS Setup Shop, everybody that's made this possible. It's been a lot of fun over the last 24 weeks, and we look forward to coming back in 2026 with one hell of a show yet again. We'll have to catch you guys there next time. And that's going to wrap up the season here from Phoenix International Raceways. We're going to end it with Brad Newman on the screen, your winner and your champion for 2025.